Double stroke rolls are not that hard if you let physics do its job. I'll break this down for you into some clear steps and we'll watch slow motion footage. Hey everyone, welcome to the Non-Glamorous Drummer, where we're all about learning the core drumming skills that really help you to make music on the drums faster. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. There's sort of two different approaches to learning doubles, and really they both work together to accomplish the goal. And the first one is to learn doubles really slowly, where you're just going right, right, left, right, right. This is how you might teach them to a very beginner student. I've done this before with students where like, okay, we're gonna play doubles, but starting out, it doesn't sound like a double stroke roll because it's really not. Really, we're playing singles back and forth. But as soon as you've got a good handle on singles, it's great to practice these and work your way up in tempo until you hit a roadblock. Maybe that roadblock is like, for a lot of beginner students, is right around there where it's like, I can't really get any faster than that. Because your wrists can only go so fast. They're only so agile, and really we have to let another force help us out with this, and that is physics and rebound, and we're also gonna use our fingers to help improve that too. So then the other approach, the other side to this, is we learn doubles at a fast tempo, even if they're sloppy, and then we work on cleaning them up, and then we work on slowing them down until they meet where that roadblock was earlier with the slow doubles. And so ultimately that's the goal, and that's how this all works together. One of the first things that I teach beginner students is, okay, how can we hold the stick loosely, which we covered in the previous video, and let it bounce? And then how can we maybe squeeze it a little bit to play a buzz? For me, that starts with holding it more out here towards the last knuckles, toward my fingertips, really holding it down beneath my palm. But if we're gonna play doubles, well, we only need 2 notes for each of these strokes. In other words, we let it bounce twice and then grab it, we're done. And essentially, that's all you need to know to play doubles. Now, if you can do that with each hand, if you can loosely let the sticks bounce like that, then you're letting the laws of physics play the doubles for you with literally no extra effort. And you should be able to go. No, they're not even. No, they're not totally smooth. They might be a little bit sloppy. That's okay though. The goal here is to learn how to let physics take control of the doubles for you. I'm just thinking right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And I'm holding the stick so loosely that that second bounce happens naturally. If you need to review that looseness, go check out the previous video. So then let's say we want to maintain this volume, but we want to speed things up a little bit. Well, that just means that we've got to put a little bit more pressure on the stick, a little bit more squeeze right here, so that we're making that second bounce happen sooner. So instead of, oops, I did 3. So instead of like that, we want, or even, basically the tighter we squeeze right here, tighter we squeeze here, the more we bring the fingers in, the faster we can force that rebound. And if I'm doing it super fast, I'm squeezing pretty tight here. And I'm also using my fingers, but we'll come back to that. So as we start putting more pressure on the sticks, that starts to happen, and of course we've got a totally uneven roll at this point. That's totally normal though. That's usually what happens when most students do this. And that's where, well, we know, okay, we need to increase our speed of alternation here. And at that point, time-wise, as far as note spacing, we've got a pretty even roll happening. As I start to put more pressure on there, we get tighter, and so now we've got to alternate faster. And so you'll find these certain little tempos, these certain spots where the doubles are naturally smooth. Now to fill in those gaps, you have to get very in tune with how much pressure to put on there so that you're controlling the spacing between your notes. And so it's kind of a muscle memory thing. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So at this point to review, we're letting the laws of physics play the second note for us. And then we're using the amount of pressure, the amount of downward pressure, the amount of squeeze on the sticks to determine the note spacing. So once we do that, and the more we do that, the more we can space the notes properly according to whatever tempo we're playing. Because there's a difference in how much pressure we've got to use if we're playing loudly versus playing softly. That's something you just have to feel for yourself. If you're playing quietly, it's actually easier to go fast. Sloppy but fast. And we're still just going back and forth, and the quieter you get, the faster it gets. Whereas when you're playing loud, it takes a little more effort. So just keep that in mind. The lower the stick height, the faster the rebound. Higher the stick height, slower the rebound. Just kind of an extra side note there to consider. So once we learn that, and once we get comfortable with that muscle memory, basically, with experience and with practice, then we've got the note spacing down. We can play even doubles. But even if the doubles are even spacing-wise, they're probably not even dynamic-wise, because they might sound like this. We're still just hearing right, left, where it's big time accents. Now, for this to sound like a double stroke roll, we gotta get rid of that. We gotta quiet the accents down. We gotta bring those quiet notes up. In order to do that, that's where the fingers come in. We have to use the fingers to reinforce that second note. You'll notice that when that first note happens, my fingers are out really loose to let the stick up and then down. So that gives me room to bring the fingers in to play that second note. So it's kind of like loose, tight, loose, squeeze. And so doing that allows you to play them evenly. A good way to practice that is on a towel. And it works out your fingers more and more, the more loud and the more even you play them on a soft surface. A pillow is an even better workout. Leg's a really good workout. Because there's no rebound, it becomes all finger. And so if I'm not using finger, it only sounds like right, left, right, left, right, left. But I gotta use the fingers. To get all those notes to happen. Another way to increase finger strength is to practice this exercise, where you're just using the fingers to propel the stick. Do a lot of that. Push yourself tempo-wise. Practice playing that quickly on a very soft surface. You can play that on your leg too. You'll quickly feel a burn here, but that'll help activate fingers, which will really help with that side of the technique. All right, so like we've been doing in these last couple technique videos, really in this technique series, we're gonna watch slow motion footage. I wanna show you my doubles at a couple different tempos, just so that you can exactly see what the differences are and what I'm having to do finger-wise, wrist-wise, at the different tempos. So I hope you're able to watch this, imitate it as best as you can, and I hope you're really able to gain something out of this.